We spend so much time looking at the big visible giants of the economy.
The ones with the flashy logos and the Super Bowl ads.
Exactly. The tech companies, the retail chains. But there's this whole other layer that, it operates almost completely behind closed doors.
It's like that iceberg theory of wealth, right? The public companies, the ticker symbols you see on the news, that's just the tiny bit sticking out of the water.
That's a perfect analogy. And the massive part underneath, the part that actually stabilizes everything, is often totally private. And we're not talking about anything illegal here.
No, not at all. We're talking about massive, concentrated pools of private capital.
And today, we get a rare chance to look under the hood of one of these engines. We're diving into an entity called Acube SFO DMCC.
And when you first look at their portfolio, it doesn't immediately make sense.
Makes sense. I thought there was a mistake in the file. I'm looking at a list that has deep-sea explosives on one line.
Right.
And then luxury real estate in Dubai, Cine chains in the Balkans, and a factory that makes office furniture.
It definitely looks like a random grab bag of assets on paper, but that's the trap.
So that's our mission today, to find the logic, because their own document, the ACUBE SFO blueprint, it makes it very clear this isn't random at all.
It's all part of a highly engineered machine.
Okay, so before we get to the explosives, and we are definitely getting to the explosives, what exactly is an SFO? What is a cube?
Well, their own documents define it as a holding company. They call it the center of the universe.
That's a pretty confident title.
It is, but it's a good description of the model. The SFO is the hub. It doesn't actually make anything or sell anything itself.
It just holds the controlling stock.
Exactly. And the most important part is who it's for. The source material says it exists for the sole benefit of a single family member.
That phrase, sole benefit, that changes everything, doesn't it?
It fundamentally shifts the timeline. A public CEO is worried about the next 90 days.
The quarterly earnings call.
Right. An SFO is worried about the next 90 years. They're playing a totally different game. It's about legacy.
Which lets them be patient in a way Wall Street just punishes.
They can get into industries that take a decade to pay off.
Okay, so if the SFO is the brain, who's the mind behind it?
That would be Ramji Iyer. He's the chairman and founder.
Let's talk about him, because his background isn't what I expected. I was thinking maybe a retail guy or an entertainment mogul.
No, it's heavier, much heavier.
He has over 22 years of experience, but it's rooted in offshore oil and gas and real estate.
Hard assets, gritty sectors. The sources use words like visionary leadership, which is standard stuff. But the phrase that jumped out at me was his reputation for crisis management.
That tells you something. That means he's used to things going wrong.
In offshore drilling, things always go wrong. It suggests he's an operator, not just a numbers guy.
But that's the thing I can't wrap my head around. How does one person, even a visionary one, manage a deep-sea survey team in the morning and a furniture factory in the afternoon?
Well, that's where the secret sauce comes in. The blueprint talks about strategic oversight.
Strategic oversight. What does that actually mean?
It means the SFO oversees the big decisions, the strategy, the capital. But, and this is key, it does not get involved in the day-to-day operations.
So Ramji isn't down there piloting the ROV?
Exactly. He's the architect. He sets the parameters and then hires a trusted management team to actually run the subsidiary. It's a decentralized command.
So he builds the machine and then trusts the machine to run.
It's the only way to scale something this diverse. You can't be the bottleneck.
Okay, well, let's look at that machine. Let's start with the heavy stuff. This feels like the foundation of the whole thing, the marine and industrial origins.
Yeah, this is probably where the seed capital came from. It's the engine room. You see companies like Sea Star Trading, Ocean King Survey Services.
Ocean King. The assets are very real. They operate ships, ROVs. This isn't just stocks and bonds.
The capital expenditure for that kind of equipment is just astronomical. This is high-stakes work.
One project really gives you a sense of the scale. They mapped a 325-kilometer deep-water cable route.
Just think about the logistics of that for a second. That's like dragging sensors along the ocean floor from New York to D.C., but underwater.
And in depths over 50 meters.
Yeah.
But the detail that really made me stop was explosive hazard clearance.
That one really jumps off the page, doesn't it?
It does. What is the business case for explosives in a family office?
It's all about that moat we mentioned, a barrier to entry.
Meaning?
It usually means removing unexploded bombs or clearing hard rock for pipelines. It's incredibly dangerous, highly regulated.
So very few people can do it.
Exactly. I can't start an explosive clearance company tomorrow. That difficulty means high margins and very little competition.
That makes perfect sense. They go where the work is difficult. And they really do go everywhere. The list of countries is, wow, UAE, India, Nigeria, Qatar, Oman, Iran, Iraq.
It's a very specific map. It's a resource-rich, infrastructure-poor strategy.
So they target nations that have natural wealth but need help getting it out of the ground.
Correct. They monetize the expertise that Ramji Iyer built over 2 decades and apply it in markets that are hungry for it.
It's so gritty and industrial. But then you turn the page in the portfolio, and suddenly you're in a marble lobby in Dubai.
The pivot to real estate.
It's such a hard pivot.
Yeah.
From geotechnical drilling to luxurious apartments.
Well, it's about diversification. Acube Real Estate Development was only set up in 2022, but their goal is huge. They want to develop and sell 1 million square feet in Dubai.
1 million square feet. And they have projects like Adhara Star.
Adhara Star seems to be their flagship luxury project. You know, pools, fitness centers, the whole 9 yards. It's a classic store of value play. Real estate in Dubai is like a gold bar you can live in.
And they also have Electra, which is for commercial offices. But I noticed something in the structure here, and I think this is where the genius of the SFO starts to show. They don't just own the developer.
You caught it.
They also own a company called Celestia Constructions.
Yes, that's a crucial detail.
So, Acube Real Estate dreams up the building, and Celestia Constructions actually builds it.
You got it. Celestia is the builder arm. This is where we see vertical integration.
Okay, break that down. Why does it matter that they own the builder?
Well, normally a developer hires a construction firm, right? That firm adds its own profit margin to everything.
Of course.
By owning the construction company, the SFO keeps that profit in-house. They're basically paying themselves to build their own assets.
So the money just moves from one pocket to another inside the family office.
And it lowers risk. You control the timeline, you control the quality. You're not at the mercy of some contractor.
There's strategy. It gets even more interesting. And this brings me to the part that really baffled me. The wild cards.
Let me guess. The furniture.
The furniture. Acube Industries, they make sofas, tables, everything. At first I thought maybe the chairman just likes interior design. But after what you just said, I think I see a pattern.
Connect the dots for us.
Well, Acube Real Estate sells a luxury apartment. Celestia builds it. And who's furnishing the lobby and making the built-in wardrobes?
Acube Industries.
And for the Electra office building, who's supplying the hundreds of desks and conference tables?
Acube Industries again.
It's brilliant. They turned a cost center into a profit center. Every building they create is a guaranteed customer for their own factory.
And the factory can still sell to the open market. Their own internal demand basically subsidizes their expansion.
It looks so scattered on the surface oil.
Blech.
Sofas. But it's actually a tightly woven ecosystem.
They're their own best customer.
Okay, I'm sold on the sofas. That makes perfect sense now.
Bully.
Explain North Macedonia.
That one is a bit more of an outlier, I'll admit.
H&R Entertainment, a €6 million investment in multiplex cinemas there.
It does seem random, but you have to see it as an opportunistic investment. And it's about cash flow.
What's the logic?
Well, €6 million might buy you a nice apartment in London. In the Balkans, it can buy you a dominant market position in an entire industry.
Big fish, small pond.
Exactly. And think about the business itself. Real estate takes years to pay off. Oil projects have huge upfront costs. Cinemas.
Popcorn and tickets.
Popcorn and tickets. They generate steady, daily cash. It's a liquid asset that helps balance the portfolio while the skyscrapers are being built.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's a similar play in India with Enchanted Water, PVT Ltd.
Great name.
It is. They develop mega sports clubs and entertainment facilities.
And again, look at the demographics. India's middle class is exploding. When people get disposable income, what do? They join gyms, they go to the movies.
So the Dubai real estate is a play on global elites, while the India and Macedonia investments are a bet on the rising middle class.
It's diversification of customer base. Just look at their Spring County investment in Chennai.
Right. Major low-cost housing. The polar opposite of Adhara Star.
It is, and that's smart. If the luxury market tanks, people still need affordable homes. The portfolio is designed so if one engine stalls, the others keep the plane in the air.
So let's talk about the how. The SFO blueprint mentions 3 core values: innovation, sustainability, and operational efficiency.
You know, those are usually just corporate buzzwords. But for an SFO, sustainability means something different. It ties back to that legacy idea.
The single family member benefit. This isn't about a quick exit.
Right. If you're building this for your grandkids, you can't just strip mine the assets. That's why they're pivoting from just extracting oil to building permanent things like real estate and manufacturing.
Moving from extraction to creation.
But that's a perfect way to put it. They're taking capital from extraction and planting it into things that grow.
It really challenges that old advice, stick to what you know. Ramji Iyer started in oil and gas. He didn't stick to what he knew.
Because maybe what you know can be management itself. If you know how to build a system, how to manage risk, you can apply that to almost any industry.
You don't need to know how to act to own a movie theater.
And you don't need to know how to mix cement to own a construction firm. You just need to know how to hire the right people who do.
He's the conductor of the orchestra. He just makes sure they're all reading from the same sheet music.
The sheet music, the blueprint, is sound.
We've covered a huge amount of ground today. From 50 meters under the ocean to the top of a Dubai skyscraper. From Nigerian oil fields to a cinema in North Macedonia.
It's a remarkable journey through modern capital allocation. It shows you don't need to be a public giant like GE to have a global footprint.
You just need a clear vision, the right structure, and a willingness to deal with explosives and fabric swatches.
That helps too.
You know, I want to leave everyone with a final thought. We talked a lot about oversight. This idea that the SFO directs the ship but doesn't turn the wheel. In a culture that glorifies micromanagement. Acube suggests the opposite.
The power of detachment.
Exactly. But it makes me wonder, where's the line? At what point does strategic oversight become just being an absentee landlord? I mean, when you're dealing with things that can literally explode, how do you sleep at night knowing you're not the one personally checking the safety valve?
That is the billion-dollar question. It takes a tremendous amount of trust in the systems you've built. And maybe that's the hardest thing for any leader to do.
To build something and then let it run. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
My pleasure.
See you next time.